Hello there, folks. Welcome back to another episode of KJ. So last week I shared some of the things that we're doing on the island strategically in church planning. When we're not on the island, like this weekend, as you can tell, the boys are in the pool. We're at my mom's house this weekend. I am speaking at Enon Baptist Church and sharing about what we're doing in Avon and looking for partners, seeing whoever the Lord might lead to partner with us to help with this endeavor. And so that's kind of what we're doing. But I also was able to get season tickets to Duke football, so I went and took in the first game of the season last night. And it was a great victory for the Blue Devils, so that was good. Next game is in 2 weeks against North Carolina A&T, so I'm looking forward to that. But today we're letting the boys relax, play in the pool. Mommy's doing laundry. I am doing some reading. Right now, let me show you this book I'm reading. It is about the history of the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks of North Carolina. So I'm reading that one. So I'm spending some time reading while I'm watching the boys in the pool. And then this afternoon, we've got a couple things lined up, but nothing super big or important. So normally when I'm off the island, it's one of those reasons. I should go into detail about why we leave the island so often. Let me explain that. Well, the biggest reason that we have to travel back and forth is because we've not secured permanent housing or housing in general. It's just impossible. I could go into all the details, but if you just look at housing on the Outer Banks, you'll see there's nothing for rent. If you do find something for rent, the rent is outrageous and expensive. And then we just can't afford to buy a house. I explained a little bit of that last time. So since we don't have housing, we've been living in an RV. We cannot find long-term parking for the RV in a private campground. That's really what we've been hoping for, is that we could get like a 6 months lease or a year lease for the RV and a campground that has water and power, and we can just live in the RV, but that's not been possible. So what we've been doing is living in the RV at the National Park campground. At that campground, there's no hookups. So you're boondocking. We have to run off the water in our tanks, and we fill up our black water and our gray water tanks. We run electricity off of a generator. And so once we set up, about once a week, we would have to go dump all that stuff. The other problem is between Memorial Day and Labor Day, the National Park Service restricts camping in there to 14 days in a 30-day period. And so what that means is we would either have to move from one campground to the other, back and forth. We would still be short of days. But we found that it would be easier if we just stayed during the week 4 nights and then came back inland on the weekends. We have a place to store the RV down there on the weekends, and so we take it to storage. When we pick it up, we fill it with gas and water. We go live for the week, and then on the weekend we drive back. That allows us to stay right at the edge of the 14 days, but it also has allowed me opportunities to preach a little bit here in different places, look for partnerships, all that type of stuff. That's going to change as soon as we are able to move into a cottage. We're still praying for either September or October an opportunity to move into a campground where we don't have to move the RV, and then we would just stay there. But that's really why we've been moving back and forth. So we spend the week down there, and then we'll come inland for the weekends, and then we go back out and do it again. Yes, that's a lot of miles on our car. Yes, costs gas money. We're running the gas generator anyway. Throughout the peak of summer and just until this last week or so, we've been spending probably $400 in gas for driving and running the generator for the air conditioning. And, it is what it is. But, we got to do what we got to do in order to be there. It's so important to be there that it's worth doing. So that's kind of what the reason is for that. We are back on the island. Hang on, I think you fogged up. Humidity down here. So we're back on the island. Got the RV set up. The boys are doing school. And as you can tell, we are in the National Park campground. Right over there, Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. So we're back for another week here. And see my bonsai, George. I'm doing some research. We have a training this coming weekend, and I've been doing some homework, I guess. Before we go there, I have to have this section done, and we'll go there for that day. I'll fill you in. You'll be all next week's video will be some of that, and how we're a part of a bigger network than just me and Sharon down here trying to do something. So I guess that's it for this week, folks. I will see you next week. Keep your prayers coming. If you're interested in learning more about what we're doing down here, check on the family vlog. Go to the One Church Family Facebook, and you'll be able to keep up with more of what's happening from day to day. See you later.